Welcome here inside the Royal City Curling Club in New Westminster. Jordan Kiss alongside Jan Wenzik here for the women's final of the Anita Cochrane Memorial. It's Team Richards who's throwing the blue stones here against Team Sarah Daniels and Brian Jessel BMW in what should be a very exciting women's final here, Dan.
Looking forward to a real exciting game here. Lots on the line. First stop in the junior tour, get an early jump on that points lead.
And the first rock there by Kate Eisner of Team Richards is hogged. And for Sarah Daniels, a four-time winner of this event, looking to make it 5 here today. And now she's going to ask her lead, Hannah Lindner, for the corner guard after the hog rock by Team Richards.
Now Jordan, Sarah Daniels is the 4-time defending champion of this event. It's quite spectacular to have that kind of record here.
It is quite impressive. Just goes to show off the dominant run she has been on throughout her junior career. And that one from Hannah comes up short. So we have 2 hog rocks to start us off here. So we'll play now 7 rocks per team.
A little bit of a condensed end here.
Kate Eisen looks for redemption. Maybe a little slower than what the teams expected. Well, they did practice on it right beforehand, but this one will make it over. And it will come to rest on a little high there, but a usable rock for Team Downs to come around. Lots of curl on the ice today, as you can see for the come around draw here. Sarah has the broom just outside the middle of the 12 foot. Of course, Ken McCardle, the head ice tech, has done a good job here, giving these guys the best ice condition possible, but as well, brand new rocks here at Royal City.
Yeah, this is literally the first couple weeks they've been in the rink, and these things bounce, just like being in a championship.
Tana with her second stone and finds her weight and will come to rest open in the top 8 foot. And Team Richards, the representative for BC at the Canada Winter Games last year in Red Deer.
Guess you have a big battle between the Canada Games alumni. Sarah Daniels representing British Columbia at the 2015 Canada Games in Prince George.
That is true. Bryn Woloshin now for Team Richards. We'll make contact and hit and roll slightly to the 8 foot. Second game for both these teams today. Of course, they played in the semis earlier. Team Daniels beat Team Calhoun, while Team Richards defeated Emily Bowles. Now, first rock here for Jordan Henson.
Good job there by Hannah Lindner keeping that straight.
This is the second straight final here for Sarah Daniels and Sarah Loken. Of course, on their women's team, they finished second in the King Cash Spiel on the women's tour last weekend in Maple Ridge. Another final here in their first junior event. As this shot by Bryn's getting quite tight to the guard. And it will take off and will spill out. Now chance here for Team Dan's. The worst part about that, Dan, is that it made a corner guard for Sarah.
Yeah, last thing you want to be doing is leaving free corner guards up for the team with hammer. Huge opportunity for Team Daniels here in the first end.
Chance to find draw weight. Got a 13-6 on the stopwatch, Dan.
Probably the first rock in that spot. I don't think anyone's really playing to the wings there during practice.
No, nobody playing towards the middle, so brand new spot, but it will end up top 12. A chance here Team Richards asked her third Keely Duncan to play the hit and roll behind, and the thing we noticed throughout all the games this weekend, Dan, is that the hit and roll has probably been the most difficult shot to make.
In general, it's just a very difficult shot, and compounded with the amount of curl in this ice, it just exacerbates all that difficulty.
Plus the lively rocks as well. You got to hit in that exact spot with the perfect weight, as this one will over curl, slide right on by. An advantage here for Team Daniels with the hammer here in the first end of the women's final. She's going to ask her third, Sarah Loken, to come around those two guards. Sweeps her off this one. This one looks like it has some.
Sarah Loken motion that was quite heavy.
She knew out of her hand it was heavy, and that is a rocket of a draw. And giving another chance here for Team Richards to play the hit and roll.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is give the opposition the same shot twice. You know Keely's going to be looking for redemption on this one.
Important to stick here.
Looks like a little more weight than the previous shot here.
This one's got a curl for them there.
They're on that center line where it's a little fresher, so it will curl up for her.
It's going to be close. They will hit and they'll make a very small roll. Now for Sarah, of course, looking to elect to hit and roll to the open side and maybe going around behind the corner guard, Dan.
Yeah, I think the important thing here is just make sure you stick around. As long as you're sticking around in the house, it still keeps your opportunity for two alive. Did notice that Team Daniels here favored the other turn, whereas Team Richards just played the turn across center line, giving Team Daniels an opportunity to sort of look at it.
So now will just spill it out, split it up, and now decision for Team Richards. You could play the hit and re-roll in, or you might take advantage of it being high and maybe draw behind.
If I was Team Richards in this kind of situation, I feel like I'd want to be taking a little bit less risk and just get a little more comfortable with the ice before taking any big chances. The difference between a 1 and a 2 here could be a big difference. Even a blank here is not the end of the world.
But they are going to play the come around here, going aggressive right out of the gate here in the first.
Gotta like that call.
That's the first rock here for Gracelyn Richards. There's the come around draw. Mine looks good. The question is if the weight will get there.
A lot of late curl. Once it's curled, it just takes all that weight out. And they will get shot stone.
Yep, they will sit shot top the 12 foot. And for Sarah, can you hit and roll without hitting your own yellow rock? I think you should be able to.
Should be able to. The thing here is you don't want to nose either and give Gracelyn the exact same shot she just threw again. Should have gone to school in her first one.
Hit and roll for Sarah Daniels to sit 2 here in the first end with hammer. So defending provincial junior champion. A 3-time runner-up at the Canadian Juniors, but does have a World Championship under her belt, playing for Mary Fay of Nova Scotia. And she will come to the nose, and for Team Richards, another opportunity to possibly draw behind.
I think we'll definitely see Graceland draw around this one. She just threw the shot. She's got to be comfortable with that spot now.
A little wider, that hit looks a little more difficult. A little more risk involved. They're weighing their options here. They will play the draw. She's going to take a little more ice here. But a good chance here to hopefully force Team Daniels and Brian Jessel BMW to a single.
Grayson gets us in a good spot here. Sarah Daniels have to draw into a new path for her draw for one then.
She would have the option of a draw for one, or possibly maybe play the run back for two. We'll have to wait and see where this last stone here for Graceland ends up.
Sweeper's not on this one right now.
I haven't touched it. It's got to stay close. Line looks good.
It's curling now.
It's going to be close. It's going to be really close. Make it curl.
Goodbye, and bring it right to the forefoot. What a great shot by Graceland Richards.
Graceland Richards right on the forefoot. Now Sarah's going to play the short run back here for her two.
No hesitation there from Sarah.
It's a risk or reward shot, right? Worst case, you give up one.
First, I think first and definitely can afford to take that kind of risk.
Yeah,
going down one is not the end of the world here.
Play the shot for two. Worst you give it one. Instead play the harder shot for two. Instead of playing the easier shot for one.
Exactly. And really, the risk with the draw also steal one. So here, you at least have the chance for the extra point.
This one's gonna curl up on him.
Looks close, Jordan.
It's gonna be very close. It will hit, and she will stick. And a great shot for Sarah there. She'll take a 2-0 lead here after the one end of the women's final of the Anita Cochrane Memorial.
Woo-hoo. Sick fight. You gotta see this. Look. 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 Look.
Shh. I'm saving money. Save up to 25% on your optional car insurance for safe driving with Bel Air Direct.
Back here inside the Royal City Crown Club in New Westminster, join a kiss with Dan Wenzek as we are ready to go on our way here in the second end of the women's final. A score of 2 for Brian Jessel BMW and Sarah Daniels in the first.
I know you can't. Go play.
First rock here from Hannah Linder, and come to the back of the rings now. Will it sit? And will sit back 12, an opportunity here for Team Richards to throw the corner guard and Kate Eisner.
Hey Jordan, I've noticed a bit of a trend here this week where in that second end, the ice just gets a little bit faster and teams tend to get a little bit fooled in that first shot coming back home.
Just an update over on sheet 3 on the men's final. It's a score of 3 for Team Sato. Team Sato in the first. They're up 3-0 over Team Kamada. Good guard there by Kate. And for Sarah is going to elect to play at top 4, and I also seen sometimes in this situation, Dan, where the team will like to throw the center guard instead of coming in.
Yeah, normally I think it depends on the team's play style. Sarah feels confident that she's going to get her rock top 4 and make Team Richards make a couple difficult shots to get there too. Whereas putting the center guard opens up your team to a little more risk, which Sarah doesn't really need to take being up 2 right now.
And Heather Lindner, draw to the top of the 12-foot. For Team Richards, you could hit, or you could also just play to come around your corner guard, and she will opt to hit. And if you do nose it, Dan, it will sit outside of the rings. And
Team Daniels won't be able to hit it with the 5-rock rule.
of course, 5-rock rule in play, 8 ends. Each team is given 32 minutes of thinking time with 2 90-second timeouts.
They taste good, but they're very sticky. I feel like they're like also watery.
Strop curling up. So we are pretty close to nose here.
And she will sit on the nose. It will jam a bit at the back, but she is sitting 2 guards here, both on the corner. And now Sarah's going to look to go around that short blue one. Not much else she can do in this situation, Dan.
Not really. The 5-rock rule, you kind of want to just take control of that 4-foot as early as possible and try and keep Team Richards away from those guards.
Jordan Henson now as we start second rocks here in the second. This one, you gotta wait on it right now just to get by that blue guard, and it will get by. I mean, really close. They can get there for the weight, and it will sit on the top of the 8-foot.
Almost full open there.
No chance for Grayson to possibly, play the hit and roll behind the corner guard. You do have that, but it is a high corner. We've seen it again with all the curl. No rock is safe behind a guard.
Definitely not. You can get to anything with this. Just a nice light hack or back climb weight.
Bryn Wlashin now for Team Richards.
Strong has a little bit of a way to curl.
Will slide on by. Now for Sarah, you could promote that one closer to the 4-foot. Yeah. And it looks like she will play the tap here. Of course, you're light. It's not a bad situation as well.
Lots of options with this kind of shot, Jordan. It also looks like considerably more weight than Jordan's previous shot.
Doesn't look light. It looks like Sarah's trying to play the tick here because she knows it's heavy, and it will slide on by. There's always a wrong way in and a right way to miss a shot, and that wasn't the right way to miss that one.
Yeah, as you mentioned, there's quite a few ways that you could make a pretty good result out of that. You just got to make sure that rock's in play.
So another chance here for Bryn.
This one's a little more inside than her previous shot.
Coach, we call that a Katie now.
I'm just followed by
Will hit. Now will they sit, and they will roll out.
And Jordan, one thing I noticed about the Team Richards weight choices, they're just throwing a little more up weight. I think it's a little bit to try and combat the amount of curl that's in this ice.
Yeah, it is definitely the easiest. Of course, the more weight you throw, the less curl.
Those teams get more experience. Just taking that weight down a couple notches just allows them to stick around a lot more. Watching some of the best teams in the world, like Holman and Jones and Einerson, they're always going to be throwing that nice, more controlled weight to stick around more often.
Draw here for Sarah Loken as they're gonna get off this blue guard first, and they will get by. And they will come to the 4-foot. Great job there by Sarah. Now she's gonna. Grace's gonna ask her third Keely to play the short hint roll behind the guard on the right. Now you could roll either way here, Dan, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think if they're rolling to the other guard, you have a little bit more room for error. Just trying to get the roll in underneath. Those rocks are almost edge on edge. You have to curl past that blue rock, which can be quite difficult to do.
It's looking pretty close. We'll just get the roll and a good shot there by Keely.
It does roll a few inches underneath, and it is about 3/4 buried.
But still a hittable rock for Sarah Loken.
Definitely increased the degree of difficulty for Team Daniels here, though.
Now here, would you try to roll all the way behind the corner guard just to prevent Team Richards from maybe doing the same shot again if you roll towards the middle?
I think the important thing here is making sure that blue rock goes away and you force Team Richards to be making some more difficult shots. So we see Sarah call for the run back here.
That is an option as well. Might be a little easier. In the worst case, you do open up that blue one in the 8-foot.
You do want to make sure that there isn't a blue rock left in the house, because if we saw it not leave, then definitely would see Gracelyn opt to draw around her corner guard now.
She will hit the top one and stick there on the center line. That will block off the draw of the 4-foot on the left. Now is maybe a good time, Dan, to come around your corner guard.
Definitely, now that you're shot one and there wouldn't be a double opportunity available, going around that corner guard is definitely a good option to keep your rocks separated and prevent any doubles later in the end.
Maybe asking for that draw towards the middle, but I don't think that's there, Dan. I think that blue guard is in the way.
So even though the blue rock and the yellow rock look like there's quite a bit of room, once you get past that blue rock, as we saw earlier, it's going to be curling past, and they weren't getting by that blue one by very much. They were actually crossing center, so you're definitely right with that, Jordan.
They will go behind the corner here.
Now, Team Richards did play a corner guard here on their first shot at the end, so they should have a pretty good idea what the spot's doing. This rock is curling hard.
Sweepers have been on and out of Keely's hand, and they will get it by. But they might run out of rings here, and they will sit for second shot.
Fantastic sweeping by Bryn Walsh and Kate Eisner there.
For Team Daniels, you are in a difficult scenario right now. They are going to just eliminate the blue stones. I don't think you're going to be able to roll here, but at least get this blue out and force Team Richards to make a play on it.
Usually in these kinds of ends, you start looking at this scenario and going, well, they got two pretty good rocks in these spots, and let's try and limit them to two.
So Sarah gets set to deliver her first here in the second. This one needs to
curl quite a bit, Jordan. Looks like they will have a piece of it.
And they will. Now will this blue spill out of the rings? It will sit in the 12-foot. They are a third shot there, so it is Team Richards sitting first, Team Daniels sitting second. Now for Team Richards, do you play that hit now and bring 3 into play here? Or it looks like they're elected to just come around that yellow guard short of the rings.
I think this is definitely an opportunity where you could hit the back one, sit 3 and tell Team Daniels you make the decision what you want to do and force them into a harder decision.
There is the double on the left side if they want it. There is enough room by that guard.
One potential danger with this shot is if you ever did draw to the button, all Sarah Daniels has to do is come freeze on top of you, and you've just been forced.
So then, if you are coming around, where do you want this rock? Do you want this maybe top 8 foot instead of the 4 foot?
I think you just want this on that DKI logo in the top 8. Just so that way if Sarah did decide to freeze, you still have the entire 8 foot to draw to for your second point.
It's Grayson with her first here in a second. And sweepers are on this one. It's starting to move. Looks pretty close.
Weight looks really good, Jordan.
And it's
And
going to
they
dive.
are by the
It is
guard.
by.
Right on top of the logo. Again, fantastic sweep by Bryn Walash and Kate Eisner.
You're exactly,
Help their team out.
exactly where you said it would be, Dan. Another for Sarah's. They're looking at the double on the left.
The hard thing with the double out there is that that's going to be the first rock in that path, Jordan.
So that is going to be the call. You can't really play the run back on your own yellow as you will. You might sit shot rock.
Even still, any
Why not?
miscue on that top yellow. All Grayson and Richards would have to do is hit that back yellow one for 4. I think Sarah Daniels is making sure she wants to sit at least second shot here.
Right now, at least try to limit the damage here. I think that is going to be the call here. Play the double. At least, even if you hit and roll in, it's not the worst. I think right now for Team Daniels is you don't want Team Richards to be able to make a play on your yellow rock on the back 12 foot.
Exactly, limited into a deuce here is fantastic for Team Daniels.
So Sarah Daniels right now without the hammer here. This one's hanging out. And she will spill at a good shot there, but Daniels does the job. Now, sitting 2-3, and it's going to be a draw for 2 here for Gracelyn Richards. So a chance to tie it up here after 2 ends. Needs a piece of the 8 foot. She did just throw this on her last one.
As long as Grayson gets to her top blue one, she will be shot for second and get her 2 points.
Hit the white, that's all it takes.
Another thing is that Grayson does have some backing on that back yellow one, so she definitely afford to.
You can even hit your own blue one. You have right away. Those sweepers are staying away from this one early on.
Sweepers off it early, but they are a little bit wider than her first one. It looks like they're just going to sweep this into the house. It looks like a very nice draw by Gracelyn Richards to get our second point.
And it will come to rest in the back 4 foot, and she will tie this one up. So after 2 ends, it is a 2 apiece here at the women's final of the Anita Cochrane Memorial.
Miles ago, Jam.
Shouldn't we be going faster?
Nah, with Bel Air Direct, you can save money on your optional car insurance by driving safely.
Up to 25%. Slow and steady, Jam. Save up to 25% for safe driving on your optional car insurance with Bel Air Direct.
Just an update of what's happening here in the final draw of the Anita Cochrane. On sheet 1 is the women's seeding pool, and Elizabeth Bowles up 1-0 over Team Drexel on the second. On sheet 2, it's Team Guide Us against Team Halfley, and Halfley's up 4-0 in that one as they're in the third end. And on sheet 3, it's the men's final. It's a last draw here for Team Kamada. a score of 1 for Team Canada and 2. They'll now trail 3-1. And on sheet 5, it's Cole's Lister up 2-0 right now over Hannah Durant as Hannah gets set to throw her final stone. On sheet 6, it's the 4K girls up 2-0 on Sophie Brissett. Back to our feature matchup. Here it is, the women's final. Jordan Kiss alongside Dan Wenzik. Kate now has to throw center after she came a little late on her first one. I'm going to place this on the center line. Will come to rest. A good shot there by Kate, and Sarah's going to ask Hannah now for the come around the corner guard.
Just completely ignoring that rock in the middle, just trying to force play to the wing.
Or some teams may opt just to. Sometimes it's just a race to the forefoot who can get there first. She's gonna play behind her own here with the hammer. This one looks very nice as Sarah tries to get some finish on it. Both Sarahs now on the broom, and
Rock stopping hard in the top 12.
But it is partially buried, just about half open, half to quarter.
Not sure if you want to see Grayson
Do you
Richards
maybe
take
just draw right now? Because if you do over curl on that hit, that rock will just be put right back.
Yeah, just because of the 5 rock curl, your tolerance is very, very low on that shot right now. But if you play the next shot, you definitely can take a run at it. Just if you ever chunk that guard, at least it can be removed, whereas right now it can't. Also, if I get one in the forefoot, you put a little bit of pressure back on Team Daniels.
This rock from Bryn comes through, needs to put on the brakes. Will slide on through the house. A chance here for Team Daniels. Now Sarah's going to come around the center guard here, Dan.
Yeah, Sarah just feels it's an opportunity to take some control of the forefoot and get reduced this way. Also, they just had a great opportunity to take a look at the spot, as Team Richards have played this a couple times this end already.
Gosh, it is the women's final, and some money up for grabs here as the first place team will receive $1,600, while the second place will receive $1,100. So already a good payday for both these teams.
Fantastic. Put a little bit of money in the bank early in the season.
And of course, the first event here on the BC Junior Curling Tour, presented by Bel Air Direct Insurance and Curl BC, the official hotel. No, not Curl BC. Best Western is what I was going to say. The official hotel of Curl BC. Getting a little ahead of myself there. But.
A little bit of decision time here for Team Richards. They've got 2 rocks that are half buried, or rocks that are in the top of the house. You could see Grayson just completely ignore all those rocks and just drop to the button. The ice curls so much, could be an option there. But she looks like she's playing the run back here.
Yeah, she will play the run back. This one's looks like it's going to be close. It's going to be very close. And she will stick it. Good shot there by Bryn. It is open, though, as Sarah's going to ask Jordan just to hit and roll away, as it doesn't look like there's room to hit and roll behind.
Yeah, leaving that rock there is just too dangerous for Team Daniels, and do not want anything to do with it there. This rock is curling hard.
They
Good job to get it
will
by.
hit the nose. They'll get a little roll in. Now for Team Richards, do you maybe just consider playing the same shot here? And I think if you do hit in the right spot, you're gonna kind of hit and roll over towards the yellow on the right there, behind the corner guard.
Yeah, there's potential for that for the run double, but it is again a little bit of a difficult shot. I think Graceland's not quite looking at it just because that rock in the top 12 isn't shot. If she does end up playing at the wings, I think the weight selection here is definitely the most important part. Just because if you wick off either of those two yellow rocks, you can at least get your rock into the house behind cover.
She asked him for the hit here. Like, the issue with this one is you won't be shot rock, and you're going to give Team Daniels another opportunity to come around and sit too.
Yep. This is also an opportunity for Graceland to get a couple of rocks in that center line, try and take a little bit of control with this end back. Two nose hits here, and the next rock wouldn't be in the house.
You know, they have to sweep it to get it by the blue. If you're lucky, you might redirect the blue into the yellow.
This is curling hard. One behind the corner guard. A bit of a break there for Team Richards.
It does open things up at another chance for Team Daniels to hit and roll, the long hit and roll across their house here to sit behind the corner.
Another thing with that shot by Team Richards, they do again leave that corner guard. Even though it is their rock, it is in the way. It makes life a little more difficult later in the end. And this rock here by Sarah Loken has a little bit ways to curl.
Maybe a little extra weight than Sarah asked for, and it will roll out. Now for Team Richards, do you just elect to play the straight nose hit here, Dan?
I think you just straight nose. I mean, there is a bit of danger here that nosing you probably will see Team Daniels go around one of those corner guards and try and get their 2 points here.
Keely Duncan, third for Team Richards.
Jordan, this rock is curling quite hard, but it will get on the nose.
It will sit there and top the 12 foot, just a little piece in, and for Sarah, she's going to play the hit here and possibly try to roll into the wings. A very delicate shot here, Dan.
Yeah, as you're mentioning at the beginning of the broadcast, the hit and roll has been one of the most difficult shots here this week.
Especially with the way where you need to hit it to roll into the rings. You can't afford to throw a lot of weight at this.
Yeah, and you don't want to nose the rock either, because you will probably see Team Richards draw around if they were to nose.
We'll play the roll. Will it get it a biter? And it will sit short. And for Team Richards, a opportunity here to hopefully set up a force as they will play the come around.
Okay, I can't see this one.
Graceland Richards as we start skip rocks here in the third.
As we've seen, Jordan, Grayson's been having a great draw with all game. Expect this to be really close.
Yeah, two perfect draws in the last end to sit at the skips deuce.
Super's on this early just to make sure they buy that yellow rock. They don't want to be touching that.
Will this one sit? Will it sit? It will sit to the back of the 12 foot, but not where you want it. As Sarah now will try to do what Graceland attempted and come behind the corner guards on the tee line, and you don't want to be below the tee line here, Dan.
No, you don't. That could open up the opportunity for Graceland to freeze out at the end.
Again, as it's a shot where your top 8 is the place to leave this rock.
Yeah, top 8 or even just top 12 in shot. Just noticing how much ice that Sarah Downs is taking. She has quite a positive throw. She's taking quite a bit less ice than Grayson Richards has.
Sarah delivers her first. This one's got to move for them. It's kind of hanging on the center line right now, and it doesn't look like it'll curl up, but it is now as they're getting some good finish out of the rock. And they will sit open, but shot here for Team Richards to force to the single, but gotta be careful you don't a jam here on your own on the back of the 12-foot.
Yeah, Jordan. A little fortunate for Team Richards that Sarah's rock just didn't quite curl up enough for her, giving her this opportunity to either nose or get a small goal behind and force the end.
It's a hit here to sit 2. Team Richards and force Brian Jessel BMW and Sarah Daniels to a single or maybe even a blank. And this rock is gonna get close to the blue one at the back, and oh, she will hit it and it will roll out. A lucky break there for Team Richards as Sarah now has an opportunity to blank this third end. Sarah Daniels now, last rock here in the third. The blank chance. Sign of approval from Jordan in the house, and she will do just that. And it will be a blank end here after 3. And it's a tie game here in the women's final of the Anita Cochrane Memorial. Back inside the Royal City Curling Club in New Westminster, it's the women's finals. We are underway here in the fourth end. Jordan Kiss with you with Daniel Wenzik, and first rock from Team Richards comes into the rings, and it's gonna be a hit here for Hannah Lindner.
They're sweeping that quite aggressively to get the roll of the outside corner.
Of course, this Anita Cochrane Memorial can't happen without sponsors. We'd like to thank some of them now. The Bassett family, Bel Air Direct Insurance, Westminster Savings, Pajo's Fish and Chips, Refresh Carpet and Upholstery Care, and Boston Pizza. Of course, Also have to give a shout out to all the volunteers, as this is a timed event as well, so all the volunteers who've been working the clocks this weekend, and of course the Steve Kopp for all the organizing. Ken McCardle from the ice, as this rock will just hit enough of the yellow one. And it will spill out. A lucky break for Team Richards, but for Sarah Daniels now a chance to put up the corner guard.
A few seconds behind. Okay.
Yeah, again, Jordan, that's just sort of the importance of making sure you're sticking around on your hits, not giving free opportunities back to your opposition.
And that guard will stay short of the rings. Team Richard has to wait at least one more rock to be able to hit it, but they are going to throw the center guard here down. I think that is the right call. Try to bring play back towards the center of the rings and shrink that scoring zone a little bit.
I think so. And on this one, you can leave this guard a little bit higher too, and we'll actually choke off a little bit of that draw path to get around that corner guard that Hannah Linden just threw. And this one here is looking a little bit heavy.
Will slide into the top of the 8-foot. Sarah's going to ask Jordan Henson here for a hit and roll.
And on the shot tolerance, Jordan, on the stream last night, Tyler and I were talking a little bit about making sure you have a full team shots and just making sure everyone's fully engaged and get the sweepers in the shots.
Shorter than the last time, so this was about 8 minutes. No.
He's currently over on sheet 3 in the men's final. We're still in the third end. A couple rocks in the 4-foot there. We'll update you on the score as soon as the third end finishes on the men's side. There was a hit and roll the opposite way made by Team Daniels, but now here for Team Rangers, you're gonna just play the open hit and stick. And this one needs to curl for them to at least hit. And they will hit, and they will just stick. Just outside the 12-foot.
Yeah, Jordan, that was much more controlled weight there from Bryn Walsh compared to what we've seen in previous ends. That's part of the reason why they're able to stick around in that shot.
Still not a threat to Sarah at this moment. She's going to ask Jordan to play the come-around guard and the corner guard. I'm kind of amazed at this ice here as you're playing around the corner guard and you're putting the broom in a spot where you will throw a draw to the center in most curling clubs.
Yeah, it's just fantastic. And like the championship conditions, like that ice you see on TV where the rocks just explode off and the ice seems to go forever. And curls right across the sheet.
It looked like there might have been a little too much ice as the weight was there. So we'll come to the back of the 4-foot. As we're on to third stones now is Kaylee Duncan. We're playing the hit and roll. And this one's going to close to the yellow guard. It will get by and she will spill out.
Yeah, it seems like once the rocks are just crossing that center line, they're just going sideways.
It's Sarah's turn now, Sarah Loken's turn to throw the corner guard.
We see Sarah Daniels tighten the ice right up for Sarah Loken here. Going to school on the first shot of it, on Jordan's first shot here. We're seeing this rock curl quite aggressively too. Looks like they were going to be by quite a bit.
Yeah, it's got some speed to it as well. It needs to sit down for him. And they will go through, and let's see who can make this draw around the corner first. As Keely Duncan's, now it's her turn.
Now we're seeing Graceland take a little more ice than Sarah Daniels did, probably going to school on Sarah Loken's last rock there. Supers were just clean at the start. Supers must like the weight. Has a long way to curl though.
Our team's been able to find that kind of happy medium right now. It's either been great weight, the line's been off, or the line's been good and the weight hasn't been there. But this one's a little bit of, one was too good, not too bad. The weight just slides to the back of the aphid, but it is Team Richard sitting 2 without the last rock here in the 4th. That's an open hit for Sarah Loken.
I'd much rather, if I'm Team Richard, I'd definitely much rather have my rock there than another foot over and buried, because that way Sarah Daniels would be able to freeze one in the back and you'd never be able to get rid of it.
So yeah, they came up after. The mirror actually yellow. Oh, that's easy fix.
She will get by the guard, and she will get the low roll behind. Although she is behind the tee line, Dan, and that could be a problem for Team Daniels.
Yeah, it could be, but you're still playing around the corner guard, and you still have the opportunity to get your 2, even with only 2 shots to go.
So now for Team Richards, you are going to come around. Now, do you want to play the freeze, or do you just want to maybe come top 4 foot above the tee line?
I think as long as you're in a spot where your shot and Team Daniels has a hard time removing it, it's still a good shot. Of course, you'd rather be in the top of the house, but Sarah Daniels would likely have the opportunity to remove that rock if that was the case.
But that's not our.
I'd like to give a small shout out to all the viewers watching at home. We wish you were here, but I'm glad that you could tune on online.
Of course, the next event that will be live streamed here on Curl BC will be the Prestige Hotels Resorts Classic in Vernon on the men's and women's tour happening the first weekend of October. I'll be there.
I'll be playing
on the auction. Yeah, we might even call one of your games. You never know, but it should be a great field as it always is at that event.
If you call one of my games, I'm expecting lots and lots of beaking me.
I'll chirp you all game long, Dan. I'll chirp everybody on your team.
It's just tradition.
Graceland here with a come around draw, and it's gonna come up. It will bounce off a little bit.
That bounce off just giving Sarah Downs just a little bit of opportunity here to escape the end.
Yeah, it's important to hit and roll away here, as it will give you a great opportunity at getting your 2 in the 4th.
Yeah, you gotta roll quite a ways away from this, or else you might leave a double or even the pocket here for Graceland Richards.
Kind of roll over towards that .com on the ice there, though you do want to. The sweepers are on this one. It's getting quite close to the nose where they roll. They will roll. A great shot there. A great line call by Jordan Henson on that one. And for Team Richards, you just hit one and take your medicine and give up the 2 here? Or do you risk it and maybe come around the corner again and freeze to that back one?
I think it's a matter of preference here. If you have that feel for draw weight and know the spot, playing the freeze is okay. You'd actually be shot and around the guard. But again, it leaves lots of risk. If you ever didn't quite make the shot, it would be shot for 3 for Team Daniels here.
She might kind of do a little bit of both here. Hit this one on the outside and roll behind, making it a difficult shot for Sarah to get her 2.
Again, a little bit of a risky shot here. You just can't let this rock over curl and clip that top yellow one either.
That's a brand new spot as well. You know, we've seen some rocks this far out maybe run a little straighter. But we're down to the last of the skip stones here. It's Team Richards without the hammer here in the fourth.
Especially with the lost rock, you don't want to be playing the new spots if you don't want to. You just want to have that confidence to go in and just say, yep, this is what the broom is, I'm playing this. Let's do it.
This is going to be close. Trying to make it curl now. It's going to be close. Both sweepers are on it. It's getting by that yellow guard and will sneak by. And will sit nose. A good shot there by Graceland. Sarah should have to do the same thing. Does have maybe a little bit of a catcher there in that blue one if she needs to, but it is a shot for two to go up two halfway through this one. An update on the men's final. It was a steal of 1 for Team Kamada and 3. Now Team Sato has a 3-2 lead as they get set to start the fourth end. It's a shot for two here for Sarah Daniels.
Were you? Hello? Did you see
They're on this one right out of her hand. Did they oversweep it? Did they oversweep it? Trying to make a curl now. She will hit. Will she stick? And she will. And it'll be a score of 2 for Ryan Jessel BMW here in the fourth. We'll take a 5-minute break here, but it is 4-2 for Sarah Downs and Brian Jessel BMW here in the women's final of the Anita Cochrane Memorial.
Miles ago, champ.
Shouldn't we be going faster?
Nah, with Bel Air Direct, you can save money on your optional car insurance by driving safely.
Up to 25%. Slow and steady, champ. Save up to 25% for safe driving on your optional car insurance with Bel Air Direct.
Woo-hoo. Sick fight. You gotta see this. Look. 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 Look.
Shh. I'm saving money. Save up to 25% on your optional car insurance for safe driving with Bel Air Direct.
Back here inside the Royal City Curling Clubs, we get set for the 5th end of this women's final. It's Team Brian Jessel BMW, skipped by Sarah Daniels. 4, Team Richards. 2, Jordan Kiss with Dan Wenzek. And without the last rock here, is Sarah and Hannah Lindner throw the tight guard. And Team Richards going to go around it.
Yeah, it's great for the teams to get refreshed after the break, get a chance to talk to coach, sort of build their game plan for the second half here.
Kate Eisner for Team Richards from the island. From the Comox Curling Club. She will hit the yellow and will knock it in. So I was going to ask Hannah again just to come around.
Jordan Henson working hard to make this one curl.
Wheel sits in the side of the bun, going to split in the tee line, but a chance here for Team Richards to play one of the most difficult shots here, the hit and roll. I don't think we've seen one made in this one, Dan.
We've seen a couple made in a couple runs, and that usually becomes the turning point at the end. But yeah, it definitely hasn't not been made as much as it normally would, especially under less or more forgiving circumstances. This rock curling really early for Kate Eisner here.
And she will hit her own blue and spill both out towards the boards. And right now through lead stones, Team Daniels looking quite nice. As Sarah's going to ask Jordan Henson here for the guard. Of course, Jordan from Prince George, a former bronze medalist at the Junior Provincials when they were held here at Royal City, playing for Team Connell. Her and Hannah, the newest members to the Sarah Daniels and Sarah Loken team here.
Yeah, Jordan, here you can sort of see why the lead stones are the most important, some of the most important rocks in the end. Just that really good setup early sets you up for success later in the end.
And that guard comes up just a little bit over the hog line, but Team Richards, a chance to play a little hit here, maybe a double, and sit for a corner guard.
And that rock by Jordan Henson just come up a little bit shorter than they would have liked. Not quite covering off that rock, and Grayson just wants to open up that 4-foot for herself for later in the end in case that one goes a little awry.
Sweepers are on it here, trying to maybe roll the other way. They just open up the yellow, but they will roll, so they have a partial corner there. Sid top 12 foot, not a bad spot. Usable rock for them, but Cher's going to ask Jordan for another center guard.
It's actually a pretty good result for Team Richards. It's half open, gives themselves a chance to tap it into the rings later if they need to. Again, this rock is not quite curling up enough for Team Daniels. Working hard to sweep buried. It is almost full open.
Come up to the top of the 12-foot. Chance for Team Richards here to make a play on it. Play the double possibly. Roll away. Now Would the plan to play the double and roll away, or just at least hit the single out and then roll?
I think the important thing here is to stick your shooter. At least keep your rocks in the house and force Team Janice to keep hitting you to prevent any more than the deuce going on the board. This will be a really close shot here by Brendan Washington.
And it will. The yellow will spill to the open on the right. It is still Brian Jessel BMW sitting shot stone. There'll be a no city here asked from Sarah Loken.
Looks like Sarah Loken set this one a little bit and it's working its way to come back.
Maybe careful not to jam, and she won't. She is sitting 2 now, but a hit and roll opportunity for Team Richards and Keely Duncan.
If it runs a little straight, there's also potential for the double here as well.
You can just hit and kind of sit on top of it, but would love to be shot here. Sit in the 8-foot.
Keely Duncan here with quite a bit of weight. She got the hit.
Sit a little too much weight, maybe a little miscommunication there between the sweepers and Graceland in the house. But Sarah will elect to play a hit on this one. Roll not to roll too far, maybe roll not enough, you'll leave a double, and Team Richards has a chance to sit 2. But so just roll behind that blue one.
I think you just need a big inside roll here, Jordan. Even if you hit half the rock and we're to touch the other yellow, you should stick it around in the rings with some nice controlled weight.
As far away as you can.
This rock coming up hard at the end.
And she will get the roll away. So it comes to the center line and back the 4. Richards maybe play the hit and roll on top, possibly. I don't know if you do that one, you give Team Downs maybe a chance to freeze.
Just because everything's in the back of the house makes it a little more difficult for Team Richards, because anywhere they roll to, Team Downs can just freeze and be out at the end.
So as this rock comes down here from Keely Duncan.
Looks close to getting that roll. See if we
I'll get on it if you want to stick in for shot. And she will sit in the 12th foot, but she does have 2 counters to the one Team Daniel Stone. Sitting 1 here without the hammer, and Sarah is going to play the come around draw.
This is definitely one of those cases where the best guard is second shot. Just putting some pressure on Graceland Richards. Forcing a couple of more difficult shots if she ever wants to get her multiples.
So we get set for skip stones here in the 5th. Draw comes in here. It's got to sit down for him. It will come to rest in the 4th foot. Like I said, down. Second shot still good, but I don't think that double is there. It's most likely jam.
I think that double is there. It definitely jams. I don't even think you have enough space to get that second yellow out.
No, but you can. If you do play it, it's not. I think no matter what you play here, you could play the kind of like soft weight tap and freeze, or play the double. You're gonna get the same result out of it.
I think the freeze tap's quite a bit of risk, and you just want to make sure you can score here.
You just
that's the most important
just
thing at this
consider
point.
just sitting on top of that yellow one there.
Yeah, the most important thing for Graceland here is to remember that scoring one here isn't the end of the world. Of course, you want to get your deuce, but scoring one here, you put yourself back in the game.
So they're gonna play a tap here. Maybe try to roll a little over towards the right.
With that kind of ice, I'm guessing that she's gonna be throwing some sort of board weight at this.
Yeah, of course. It's definitely, I think she can see a little bit of it, and it's curling enough that guard's high enough as well. She can easily get by it.
And Jordan, if you play soft enough weight at this, you can almost get the inside roll off that yellow one back four.
Do you want to roll any further inside, as it will give Sarah a little more room to make that freeze?
At least rolling underneath, you also have that opportunity that opens up the button for you to draw for your point.
It's a big shot here for Graceland Richards with the last rock here in the fifth. It's her first one. Trying to get this one to curl. And she will hit on the nose.
And Jordan, she missed that top one by quite a bit, and still got to nose.
No, just a hit and nose here for Sarah. You gotta be careful. You roll out just a little bit. You do leave the double for three.
You roll out, it is a single for three as long as you have a jam. So definitely an important thing here is sticking around.
I think you have to hit nose. You don't want to roll out at any bit whatsoever.
You could roll to the edge of the 8 on the other side.
Well, unless you do roll out all the way, but you don't want to roll and sit kind of in the center line area. And anywhere's in the forefoot.
That's still going to be a very difficult double because it would be very flat.
Yeah, the double top moves, yeah.
There's Sarah Daniels with her last here in the fifth. This one is wide. It's going to stick in the rings. It will roll out, and a chance here for Graceland Richards to play the hit and stick for her three and take the lead here in the fifth.
Wild turn of events here to end Jordan. Sort of looked like Team Dallas had a lot of control with a couple of rocks separated in the rings, and all of a sudden this huge opportunity for Graceland Richards.
That's what this game can do. It's you miss one shot and anything could happen here. So it's a hit for three. Right now it's a steal of one for Team Daniels.
The important thing for Graceland here is you can hit it anywhere on the high side and you still at least get your two. Has a little ways to curl.
Oh, this is wide. At least make contact to get your two. And she will hit it out. So she will remove the yellow and score her two, but does leave one on the board here. But we are tied after five with the women's final of the Anita Cochrane Memorial.
Miles ago, champ.
Shouldn't we be going faster?
Nah, with Bel Air Direct, you can save money on your optional car insurance by driving safely.
Up to 25%. Slow and steady, champ. Save up to 25% for safe driving on your optional car insurance with Bel Air Direct.
An update of what's happening around here on the final draw of the Anita Cochrane. On the women's side on the seeding pool, it's Elizabeth Bowles leading 3-1 over Heather Drexel. On sheet two, Holly Halfley having a big 7-1 lead over Team Guide Us as they play 5. On sheet 3 of the men's final is a score of 1 for Team Sato in the 4th, and they go up 4-2 as they're currently at their midway break. On sheet 5, it's Team Coles Lister up 4-2 over Team Durant, and on sheet 5, it's Sophie Brissett up 4 points, 6-2 over the 4K girls. And the center guard was thrown by Team Richards and Kate Eisner, as we are tied up here playing 6.
Fantastic placement there by Kate Eisner. I don't think Grayson would have wanted to place it. Couldn't have placed it better herself. She walked it down.
And Hannah Lindner now. We'll match that with a great come around on top of the pin. Safe to say a freeze will be the call here.
Now, Jared, when we're playing these shots, definitely the important thing is the rock positioning. Even being a couple of feet short of this rock is still okay, and it gives you an opportunity to hit it later. Chunking off here is definitely not something that Grayson would want to see.
It's knowing your tolerance on these shots, knowing that if they're light, it's not too bad. Whereas if you're heavy, it really gives an opportunity here for Team Daniels. Sweepers are on this one right away, and we did say light is okay, but you don't want to be too light.
This is curling early too.
Maybe try to get it for another center guard. At least open up both sides for them. And it will come to rest on the other side of center. A chance here for Team Down Situ Barry. Now the problem with that one is that's kind of staggered. I don't think you can run that blue one right on the center line straight back anymore.
Also provides a little bit of overlap and chokes off a bit of the other side as well.
It's almost a better rock for Team Daniels.
Huge opportunity here for Hannah Lindner to get one top 8 and put the pressure on Team Richards. This one looking a little bit deep, Jordan.
It's hanging out there as well. We're going to open the door here for Team Richards, but they will slide on by. Not too bad. It's a good miss as you are back 8 foot, but it does leave Team Richards another chance to play the freeze.
For some of our viewers at home, you probably noticed that Sarah Loken was sweeping that rock behind the tee line. And part of that was they just wanted to get some separation between the two yellow rocks to not leave a pocket for Team Richards later on in the end.
Bryn Woloshin, second for Team Richards.
Again, Jordan, this weight just looking a little bit on the high side.
And we'll come towards the back one. Needs to curl, I think, if anything. And there she will make contact, but it will spill her blue out as just moves the yellow one over. But another chance for Sarah Daniels here to lock it down.
Again, Jordan, we're just noticing a little bit of that shot tolerance and giving the rock to the sweepers. So important, especially for these teams. This rock has fantastic weight from Jordan Henson.
Trying to bring it in. Line is perfect. And we'll get it to the top 8 foot. Now sitting 3 with the hammer. It is partially open.
It's a very, very good rock for Team Daniels. I don't think Grayson wants to leave it.
Well, she can't at least get that one out of the 4 foot.
Now, Jordan, if you're skipping here, would you be thinking about throwing a little bit less weight to try and keep your shooter in the front? Or would you try to get rid of this?
I don't think that's my biggest concern right now. Like, you could, but I think right now that rock in the 4 foot's a pretty dangerous spot for Team Richards. As this one's tight, and we'll hit the guard. And good news, it does remove the stagger and allow that blue one to be run back. But for Sarah, you can split. Do you think maybe consider coming in the other way, top 4 foot, and get another one in there?
I think that's probably Really good idea, Jordan.
Like if you can do that, it's going to take at least 2-3 shots to get it out.
I think Team Richards is almost in an all-in situation here because there's 4 rocks. You're almost forced to try and get your rock in a good spot where Team Downs will be able to remove it.
She is going to play the split. Now, I feel if of course they do go to the wings and Gristlin's feeling a little gutsy, she might call this come around freeze.
I think when you're looking at 4 rocks in the house, you almost have to be gutsy because the options are give up a bundle or potentially steal. So
this one's got some weight to it. It's got to get off that blue one. Might open it up here for Team Richards.
I actually really like that.
That's not terrible. She will spill in.
Chunking that rock over actually really works for Team Daniels. As that freeze wouldn't be as effective as it would be otherwise.
But it does open that one on the 4-foot. I think you still play the freeze here. You do. Sarah has. Oh, she'll have to make a play on it.
With Team Daniels sitting 4 here, almost all in to force. Just play the freeze and
hit and roll on top. That's not a bad shot. At least try to open up maybe a hit and roll for yourself later on.
I think you're almost looking for what the best options to hide are.
Yeah, so it's a hit and roll. Like again, if you hit and roll on top, you maybe force a jam out of Team Daniels if they decide to make a play on it. But you do have to stick in the rings here. I think that's the most important thing here for Team Richards.
Sweepers are on this one hard. It's curling up, and they gotta get by.
And they will get by, and they will sit on the center line. And Sarah's gonna just ignore it. Sit in 2. Now, would you ignore this blue one down, or maybe just play the hit?
I don't know if I want to ignore this one too much, Jordan. That blue one's in a really good spot, as it is right now. There's a lot of opportunity later for Team Richards to tap that back, potentially on as a freeze to the one on the button.
Instead of going to the wing, she's going to come around this tight corner blue.
Yeah, I think this is going to open up a lot of opportunities for Team Richards after this comes to settle. Just as more places to potentially set up a pocket for them. You need to keep this one in the top 8 for sure. We're also taking a little more ice here where you haven't seen quite as many rocks, so speed will be a little different.
And they got to get it there first.
This rock's just slowing down. Really put on the brakes.
Just a little wider out there, a little more frosty on the edges. It'll come up short. And Team Richards looking to capitalize. He could play the tap, or you're looking at this shot here. I don't think this would be my first call, but
I think you definitely want to tap it, but I don't think you can be throwing weight. The important thing here is sticking around and keeping your blue rock in a really good spot.
I think they want to save that tap maybe for later on if possible. But if you do make this one, if you can make this double here, you are sitting quite nice. Here they dunk in, do they oversweep it a little bit? It's going to be close and slide. They'll hit it, but it'll just slide under. But it does move that yellow one a little more open in that hole. A great chance there by Team Richards. Almost made it.
Again, we're seeing Team Daniels here coming around the wide side, trying to draw in behind the staggered corners.
Aren't you worried now of maybe that hole there? As now Team Richards can access that yellow one with some weight.
Yeah, Team Richards, I think they're in a spot now. They can definitely take a little bit of risk and go for it. They're not. There's no more shot rock. That moving that blue one would do any harm. Again, just quite a ways out there and just putting the brakes on.
This one looks like it maybe picked and lost its handle.